Well, g'day curd nerds. G'day curd nerds. Well, g'day curd nerds. Well, g'day curd nerds. Well, g'day curd nerds. Well, g'day, curd nerds. Well, g'day, curd nerds. Welcome back. I'm Gavin Weber, and this is episode 350 of Ask the Cheeseman, where you ask your home cheese-making questions. And thank you, Patricia, for the congratulations. That's absolutely lovely. There we go. There's some hearts for you in the chat. Now, of course, we start the show by saying a big thank you to all of the YouTube members. A new YouTube member today, or renewing one, is Madam Patriot. Thank you, Madam Patriot, for renewing your YouTube membership, and thank you to all of the other YouTube members there. And let's not forget all of the patrons on Patreon. Persnickety is the latest person to sign up on Patreon to get early access to videos and to behind-the-scenes stuff that you normally wouldn't see. And there is a new member video coming out in the next couple of days. Kim's made a very amazing dish that I filmed, and yeah, only members will get to see that. What else have we got? So, what's coming up soon? Well, I have been diligently working on on some videos. Let me just, where's my Trello board? Let's just bring that up. Oh, come on. Come on, computer. Do the right thing. There we go. No. Why am I having so many problems? Ugh. No. Ugh, bloody hell. No, I don't know what the heck's going on here. For some reason, I cannot bring up any other screens. I'm having issues. Oh, thank God. Right, here we go. Second monitor. So, sorry, I've been busily working on the Formaggio video. I made 4 cheeses using the Formaggio. Here's what I learned. I've made all of the cheeses now. So I was going to make 4, and I've made the 4 cheeses. Yesterday I sent the review notes over to Glenn at Formaggio. We're having a meeting tomorrow, to discuss the things that I found. Apparently they're all easy fixes, because the good thing is the machine does over-the-air software updates. I must say that I felt like I was doing, I was doing the testing for the recipes. However, the machine, as far as I can tell at the moment, machine seems to work okay. And yeah, so I'll be doing I've got the review recorded. I've just got to edit it now, pending the outcome of the meeting tomorrow on which way I go with the review. Certainly it'll be honest and to the point. So because I've made cheese every single day this week, managed to squeeze it in amongst doing all the orders and all that sort of stuff. There hasn't been a video this week, so I'm so sorry for that. But other stuff that's coming very soon, Kim and I are just putting props together, and I mean real props, for the anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic. You can see here that we've got a picture of the Titanic. We've managed to discover that there's a cheese called St. Ivel. I might have mentioned it before. And I had some conversation with Dan over in the UK, who was doing some research for me, and we came back with a recipe that looks very similar. And St. Ivel cheese is an extinct brand. It was bought out by Sapuro, I think, before it was bought out by a Canadian by the Canadian Sapuro, sorry. And the cheese went extinct. So this cheese was served at lunch the day the Titanic sank. So we're going to be doing a video about that before the 14th of April. and we'll have that all ready to go. I've got one more meeting to go with Hannah Instruments before I start and finish the Hannah Instruments Halo 2 pH tester. There it is down there. You probably see it in the corner. The pH tester review. It was not a review. It's just how to use it, that sort of thing. And then we'll be getting stuck into all the others. I'll finish off the Mount Cottrell one and the Veggie Patch one. But that's been taking up a heck of a lot of time, unfortunately. So that's the current state of the videos. What else have I got here? I have... Oh, don't forget next week, daylight savings. Let's just have a look at the world clock because we can. There we go. So that's the current state of the world at the moment. We here in, well, Victoria anyway, I won't say the rest of Australia, we fall back an hour. So our daylight savings will finish. So the time may change for where you live on when the show starts. So currently in Melbourne, obviously it's 8:06, New York 17:06, London 21:06, and Los Angeles 16:06. And in Perth, I don't know if anybody in Perth's watching, but we've got... it's at 5 in the morning, but yeah, I'm not sure they may be watching. Usually we get some people from Perth, but yeah, so daylight savings will end here. So we'll go back. So just check the once I put up the next episode or schedule the next episode, just go and have a look at the it'll say when the times when it starts. So check that. Okay, so what else have I got to say for myself? One thing I'd like to see, and in the gallery you'll see today, we've got a couple of setups of people's cheese making equipment. So that'll be great to see a few more of those. I'm thinking of putting a video together for that, but we'll see how that goes today. So we'll go from there. Okay. What else we got? Right. So we've got some. Have we got a comment? Let's have a look. Yes, we got a question. What is the cheese you hate to make the most? What is the cheese you hate to taste the most? Well, that's a bit of a change on the theme of things. The cheese I hate to make the most. Well, it's not particularly me, but Kim doesn't particularly like it when I make any cheeses with Brevibacteria linens. Yes, those stinky cheeses. So when I open up the cheese fridge, this is, it really, really stinks. So, yeah, that's the one that, not that I hate to make, I enjoy making all cheeses. What is the one I hate to taste the most? There is no such thing except for processed cheeses, which I'm not a huge fan of. Let's say g'day to a few people because we need to say hello. So the first person today was Valerie. Hello, Valerie. Lovely to see you. Also, Shauna, of course, early bird, and Jeffrey, YouTube commenter. Love to see you, and thanks for the question just then. Cool Cat, g'day mate, and Patricia over in Nova Scotia. Just had a solar eclipse, very nice. Kelvin, g'day Kelvin, lovely to see you mate, and we have met in person, in real life, IRL. Cynically Obnoxious, g'day, welcome. Who else we got? Patricia, Merv, g'day Mervin, how are you mate? And the nightly scarling bonker of the shinies. My goodness me. Yeah, we'll get to your question. G'day Jennifer, g'day Fiona, how are you? And Matt, hello Matt over there in the UK. Jose and Maria, hello to both of you. Alright, so we do have another question. Where is it? This one from Cynically Obnoxious. I bought some brie at the store and it tastes Like bitter medicine, is that what it's supposed to be like, or is that just my taste buds? Probably it is aged way too long and it's overripe. Would be one of the reasons why your brie would taste bitter. The rind should taste a little bit like mushrooms, just a little, and the paste should be creamy, oozy, and a little bit salty. That's kind of what it tastes like, with a nice creamy, milky flavour. It should not be bitter, and it shouldn't taste like bitter medicine at all. Unless maybe you're allergic to penicillin. You may have a reaction on your tongue to the penicillin candidum on the outside of the cheese. Okay. Another question from the Nightly Scarling. G'day from Florida, Gavin. Ever consider doing a grilled cheese cooking series where the cheeses is the main part of the sandwich, but with additions that are usually paired with that cheese? No, I haven't. And from other cooking videos that I've done in the past, they don't reach as many people as, say, a cheese making tutorial would. So unfortunately, if I focused on that, then the channel would suffer and the reach of the channel would certainly not be as wide as it normally would. So any cooking ones these days I've been keeping to members only, and you, the members who are there green in the chat, seem to appreciate those sort of things that I do with cheese, and behind the scenes stuff, but the general viewer of the cheese channel tends not to watch any cooking stuff I do cooking with cheese. And I've done quite a few recipes, that's for sure. Okay, am I live? Yes, I am live. A YouTube commentator. Yeah, go and update, refresh your page or what have you. I am absolutely live. So one of the other things that I wanted to talk about was those cheese making setups. So we know that it's easier to use something like a precision cooker, or sous vide as they call it. We'll just get rid of that comment. Right, so sous vide to heat up your water bath, and you put it in your sink. Not everybody's got a sink, so those who are more creative of you out there, if you've got a setup that is that works for you and heats your milk, and you know, you've got a unique type of curd cutter or what have you. I know curd nerds are very inventive people. Very creative as well, because not only do they create great cheeses, they can create great equipment and all that sort of stuff. So if you've got anything like that, shoot it through to me and I'll show you how we do that. Shoot it through to me at my email address. So if we go to the second monitor, if we go to here, do you want to become a curd nerd? Just click there. You can do that on iOS as well. And down here is the email address. Just shoot through pictures and an explanation to that email address about your cheese making setup. I would love to see them. There's a couple, like I said before, there's a couple in the gallery today. So if you've got a, well, not unique, the way you do it. So I'd love to do a video very similar to years ago. I did a video on do-it-yourself cheese presses, where I asked everybody to send me pictures of their cheese presses, and that was an overwhelming success. Great video and lots of information shared to lots and lots of people. So if you've got that kind of thing, you know, next time you make cheese, take a photo of your setup, shoot me an email and explain what you've done and why you think it's unique, and that would be absolutely fantastic. So thanks so much. Okay, we do have another question. What's the hardest cheese to make? That's subjective. Depends on your skill level, I suppose. As a beginner, I wouldn't recommend diving into something like making mozzarella or making, say, a camembert or a blue cheese. I'll stick to some basic ones first, that's for sure. Something like a few that I would try first would be something like paneer or whole milk ricotta, very simple to make. Then on to, say, halloumi, feta, very simple to make as well. Let me think, what's another one I highly recommend? Kefili's a good one if you're going to start to make a harder sort of cheese with rennet and with a press and that sort of stuff, because it's a nice easy cheese. So is Guido's hard Italian cheese is another good one that ages out well. So yeah, that'll be cool. Okay, Patricia has a question. Says, I'm considering trying repressing cheese together to create a pattern, 2 colours. Any tips on getting 2 or more cheeses to knit together when repressing? Thanks. I'm just trying to think. So, a lot of cheeses that they create in the commercial world that are like that have 2 coloured patterns, double milled. So they're milled normally, and then they're matured, and then once they're matured and they're to the right flavour, then they'll mill them again. So they'll shred them basically, and then they'll combine different things with them. They can be additives and all that sort of stuff. Or you can certainly just change colours and make layers and stuff like that. So, a rainbow or unicorn sort of cheese certainly is a lot easier to do post-fact, and then press them together with a decent amount of pressure in a press to combine the cheese back into a truckle. So I think that's the best way to do it. Another question from YouTube commentator Hog in the chat today. How difficult is it to make Vegemite? I have no idea. It's made from the brewer's yeast, and it tastes amazing as far as I'm concerned. There we go. Alrighty. Davo has Adam Ragusa, I think that's how you say it, did a video on Marmite, which is similar but not as good. Yeah, okay. I'll go and check that out, Davo. Thank you very much, and thanks for joining the chat today. Okay. So, one thing I normally do, what time is it? 18 minutes past, is throw out some free memberships. There we go. We can do that. So have a look in the chat. If you want to pick one up, then grab it now and go for it. So, yeah. So out of the kindness of my heart, and 5 people have picked those up now. So that's fantastic. Congratulations to those 5 that have picked up a free membership. The perks. It's the young level, which means you get early access to videos before they're released, behind the scenes stuff, and obviously you get a little icon now when you're in the chat. So chat away is all I can say. No, you can't double membership, YouTube commentator. So there you go. So what I want to do, the gallery is quite large, so I want to get stuck into it now. So the gallery is brought to you by you, the Curd Nerds, and let me just grab that, make it right. Here we go. So the gallery is brought to you by you, the Curd Nerds. You send photos in every week, and I'll show you how to do that again at the end of the gallery session. So the first one is from Jeffrey. Thanks, Jeffrey, for sending this one in. Jeffrey says, hi Gavin, sorry for sending it late, but only just finished it. All the photos are numbered from 1 to 6. This is the dark ale and mustard seed cheese from your video. And this time I did ripen it as shown in the video, not like I did the Monterey Jack when I forgot to ripen it and went straight to adding rennet. So I learned from that photo. Photo number 6 is first 30-minute pressing. We'll be doing the last pressing tonight at 2300. And then in the brine tomorrow. See you in the morning. Yes, you have. Thank you, Jeffrey. Okay, so what he's done here, so he's got his, can I make this larger? Here we go. So he's got his mustard seeds here, he's got his Cooper's Dark Ale, he's got a few bottles there, maybe a little bit of a taster, got everything set out. Absolutely fantastic. That's how I like to see it. So as the French say, was it mise en place? So everything in its place. So well done, mate. That's great. It's a little setup. There's the first cut of the curds. There's stirring of the curds. What else we got? There's the curds that have been drained using his loose weave cheesecloth. And there's the curds that Jeffrey has added the dark ale to soak into the curds to give it that amazing flavour, which is absolutely beautiful. And there is the first 30-minute pressing. So you can see there that he's got good integration of all the mustard seeds as well. And hopefully after it's come out of the brine that Jeff will vacuum pack that so he doesn't get any contaminants, because it's very hard to keep the contaminants off of the mustard seeds. So fantastic looking cheese. So well done, mate. Thank you for sending those in. The next one is from Leanne, and Leanne says, "Hi Gavin, here's a photo that others may be interested in. My son insisted I needed a wireless thermometer. He was so right. It makes it easier to monitor the temperature with my arthritis. I don't have to do a juggling act when taking this Jarlsberg from 38 degrees Celsius to 42 over 30 minutes. It's very visual." Here is my... Oh, okay. So, let's zoom into that. So she's got her pot here, and the probe goes from... She's got a what? I'm not sure what this bit is. Oh, this is the Inkbird barbecue thing. So, I don't know, is that the packaging and that's the monitor there? I think that's the monitor there. And then the wire goes into the pot. And she's got the precision cooker there. And everything's set up, ready to go. The press, a little draining board. That is cute. I like that a lot. Having the press on that draining board if you want to move it to somewhere else. But it's got a little lip, as you can see there, where the little hand is, and all the whey would drain out. So, yeah, that's a great little setup. Thanks, Leanne, for sending that in. There is another... Here we go. So this is still from Leanne. It says, "Here is my Parmesan I put in the fridge yesterday, and my favourite blue cheddar," which is this one here, which is on day 3 of air drying. This is a great cheese to convert folks to the pleasure of blue. Yours in cheese, Leanne. Thank you, Leanne, for sending those in. That is absolutely spectacular. Great looking cheeses. And a lovely setup too. So I'm very impressed with that. Okay, so the next one is from Merv. Now Merv has made his first cheese. So big round of applause for Merv. And lots of love in the chat. It says, "Hi Gav, it's a bit lonely in the cheese cave, but friends are coming." This is Merv's, he says, "The cheese looks more yellow than it is in real life. But you're right, once you start making cheese, you can't let the outside world distract you. Just have to keep calm and make cheese." I've heard that somewhere before. So there's Merv's first cheese. I think it's a cheddar. He doesn't say, actually. So Merv, let me know in the chat what it is. Oh, it is a cheddar. I'm a dag. Yeah, so there you go. There's your cheddar, number 1. Something to be proud of, mate. It's going to taste amazing too, Merv, honestly. And there's his lonely cheese in the cheese cave. I'm sure there will be many, many more, Merv, to come. So, and there's his little Inkbird controller. So that's set up, plugged into the fridge to control it between... What's he got it set at? Can I see? So he's got it set at 11, but it's actually 11.6 inside the unit. But that's okay. Anything between 10 and 13 is absolutely perfect. Degree Celsius, that is. So, yeah, very good. Thank you, Merv. I really appreciate you sending that in. So the next one is from Persnickety. So Persnickety sent this in, says, "Howdy Gav, on the weekend of the 16th, I think that was, this month, a couple of weeks ago, I attempted a cheddar again. This time pressed it underway. The final product knit mostly, and I think it's due to not having enough weight for the underway pressing portion. Did make for striking marbling though. At a little over 8 pounds or 3.6 kilos, it should be ready in July." It's a great looking cheese, mate. You do create amazing cheeses. So, it looks, well, does it look like a planet? It looks like an exoplanet. It looks really nice. I'm impressed. This is another one from Snickety. It says, next was a request from a customer, Red Lester. The only book I had with it in was your wonderful bound one, that which lay flat. This time I bought a 25-pound dumbbell, which I can stand upright, and the under the way press went off very smoothly. Okay, so 8 pounds for 30 minutes, careful flip, then 25 pounds for an hour, then just went to the Dutch press at 25 for 2 hours, then 50 for 24 hours. This photo is just out of the press, which produced a 10-pounder or 4.5 kilogram cheese. Very nice. I love the mold you're using, how it's got the the rounded edges. It's very nice, visually appealing cheese. The photo is right, so we did that bit. As it dries, it continues to darken, the salt rub helping that along. It should be ready for initial tasting this August. Thank you again for your good work. All the best to Kim and the doggos. Oh, and before I forget, I made sure I subscribed to Patreon, as the work schedule will preclude me catching your live streams for the time being. I still wanted to support your channel and platform. Curd Nerdly Persnickety. Thank you, Persnickety. I really appreciate it. And that is a great looking cheese, by the way. The next one is from Shauna. And Shauna has said, "Hey Gavin and Kim, just a couple of photos for the gallery. The first one is Red Lester, made last weekend, fresh out of the press and rubbed with salt." And you can see this, where's me, well, there we go. So you can see the salt crystals on the outside. Red Lester is one of those cheeses where you salt the curds at milling time before you put it into the press, and then you salt it afterwards as well. Just add a little bit more salt in there that may have been lost out in the way. It's just one of those cheeses that are just a little bit saltier. But yeah, have an amazing flavour. Shauna goes on to say, "It's now in the cheese cave with 4 months to wait." A great looking cheese, Shauna. Alright, next one is... the next is Budakaiser, aged for 1 month. This is one of Mum's favourite, and I love the flavour. Subtle but generous. It's an amazing looking shirt. I love the mouse. Always. Kim loves the mouse too. I show her these photos before we put them up. So she loved that. Yeah, I can see that you vacuum packed the cheese, and yeah, the Budakaiser is a lovely, nice, as you said, a subtle flavour. It is delicious. Okay, this is Shauna's setup. So this is why I'm thinking about this setup. Now, Shauna goes on to say, "Lastly this morning, making a raclette with 16 litres of milk, so I had to break out the big boiler for this one. Takes just a bit longer to heat, cook, etc. Using the sous vide, but so worth it. I cannot see myself ever going back to the double boiler method. Being a person that is lacking in height, I struggle to lift the boilers full of milk off and on to the bottom pot on the stove. So thank you for demonstrating this years ago. It really is a game changer. And thank you again for all you do for the Curd Nerd community. Take care, Shauna. Thank you, Shauna. I appreciate that. Now, let's have a closer look at Shauna's setup. She has a massive big pot in her sink of water. She's using an Inkbird as well, 308, I think, similar to my one. She hasn't, I'm not sure how she's got it clipped on. I can't really tell there. Shauna, if you're in the chat still, so let us know how you clip the Inkbird onto the sink so it doesn't bob around. You also got what's this brand? Chef Alarm. It's got a little external thermometer as well that clips onto the side of the pot. I like that a lot. Look at that. So that is very clever, that little clip thing. I think I need to do this myself because I'm always checking with the what's it called, Thermapen or Thermapen, to check the temperature. I know Shauna says in the chat that the sous vide is just stood up on its own. Okay, you got it squeezed between the pot and the side of the sink. So that'll work if it's sitting on the bottom because it's got holes in the bottom part that circulate the water. So yeah, that'll work fine. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to have to up my game and get one of these. I'm going to write it down. Thermometer. And I can just let it sit there because, you know, everything else I've got done at the moment is automatic. So might as well go the next step and grab one of these little external thermometers. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. So thank you, Shauna, for sharing your setup with us as well. Alrighty, the next photo, and this is last but not least, this is from Toby, who's one of my Curd Nerd newsletter readers, and he replied back to the last newsletter and said, "Hi Gavin, I've been watching a lot of your videos and trying to make some of the recipes. I thought you might like to see the outcome of recent months of activity. Thanks for all of your help and encouragement. Cheesy cheers, Toby McClay in Verdun in South Australia." Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Let's see if we can identify some of these cheeses, shall we? We've got some writing on some of them. So that one is... what the heck? Parmesan, maybe? Parmesan. So that one's Parmesan. That one looks like orange and walnut. Caerphilly. Looks like walnuts and a bit of orange. Very nice. That looks like red Leicester. That one looks like... oh, that could be Asiago with peppercorns. Could be. This one's a cheddar. Can I see my name on there? Gavin Cheddar. That's a new name for it. We got a Comté there. Gavin's Comté. This one is... oh, I can't quite read that. Something, but it looks good. This one here, I don't know what these bits are in it. What are these red bits? Maybe they're chilies. Maybe it's a pepper jack. Yeah, could be. All right. Can we identify any of the others? No, there's half of something here, but I can't see any writing. But Toby, amazing spread of cheeses there. Some made very recently by the looks of it. That one, and that one there, I think, is a natural rind one you're maturing there. But great looking amount of cheeses. So well done, mate. Really good looking cheeses from your cheese cave. So congratulations. Okay, is that the last one? That is the last one. I know we finished the gallery a little bit early, but I just wanted to show everybody the amazing setups for Leanne and Shauna and all the other amazing cheeses that everybody else sent in. So, how do you send in photos like those amazing ones that the Curd Nerd community has sent in? Okay, so let me just show you. What we do is we go over to the channel page, and as I showed before, we click on the, I'll do it again, this bit here, do you want to become a Curd Nerd? We click on there, and down here you see the email address. click on the email address. I won't do that. But yeah, click on the email address, and that's where you send through photos of your cheeses that you've made. And yeah, I will show them on the next Ask the Cheeseman in the gallery. So thank you so much, everybody who sent them in. And thank you to Paul, who gifted 5 memberships. So we've had 10 new members today, and 5 more people picked them up. That's fantastic. People that I've never seen in the chat. So now you're members. The obligation is to do some chatting in the chats. Ask a question. The only way you learn is by asking the questions, like everybody else is having a go at in the chat there. Alrighty. Let's get some more questions. I'm sure there are some. Matt Ashby says, Dave, I was going to mention Adam Ragusa video. He is a really great YouTuber. Thanks. Thanks, Matt. I'll check that out. Patricia says, belated thanks for featuring my Sweeney Todd in the gallery last week, Gav. No problems at all, mate. Question from Davo says, how different are Lancashire, Cheshire, Derby, and the other cheddar style cheeses? Is it worth making a couple of them for variety? Yes. Well, they are different because the cheeses that are made traditionally, Lancashire is made from a different type of milk, from a different type breed of cow than Cheshire and Derby. So the milk is different in all those types of cheeses. They have a unique breed of cow that they use to make those cheeses. So the milk will taste a little bit different. What else? They have different fat contents, different protein to fat ratios, and the like. So they'll be different in that way. When you make them yourself, yes, there are variations on a theme of cheddaring, right? But they all taste different. I can remember the Cheshire that I made was very crumbly. The Lancashire I made was sharper than a normal cheddar and had a lovely flavour. Red Leicester that I've made, which is another English style cheese, has a nice depth of flavour that you don't get from, a very young sort of cheddar as well. Derby, when you add sage to it and spinach juice to make that green colour, is a unique cheese that has a lovely flavour as well, different than the other cheddar styles. It is definitely worth making them, Davo, for a little bit of variety. You may think the process is the same. It's not. That they are different. And I think that Paul's just said in the chat that he's made Lancashire, Cheshire, cheddar. They are different. Double Gloucester is the winner in my opinion. Double Gloucester is a really nice cheese as well. So yeah, absolutely perfect. Matt just said that he saw my subscriptions on the sidebar of my YouTube channel. It says, I just want to note that Two Guys in a Cooler is another awesome channel to watch. It is indeed. If we're promoting other YouTubers, yeah, Two Guys in a Cooler is a great channel. And learn how to make charcuterie, salamis and sausages, and he does does some cheeses as well. Is a great channel. Okay, we do have some other questions. Looks like lots of people use the chef alarm as well. So I'm thinking that may be the one to use. So thanks, Patricia, for your support there. We do have a super chat as well. This is from Michelle, and welcome, Michelle. First time I've seen you in the chat. Oh no, you're a bit late. So there's your curd nerd light. So your comment is, I froze some of my Stilton from your recipe. I thawed some out the other day, and it was actually very good. FYI. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate it. And there's a second super chat light for you. Looks like the YouTube one's working a bit faster now. But yeah, thanks, Michelle. Appreciate that. Yeah, I've never frozen a blue cheese before, but obviously you can do it, and you've proven it. So well done to you, and thanks for the $10 US super chat. Appreciate it. Merv says thanks. This is for his photo. I did a ricotta and a cottage cheese, and then jumped straight into cheddar. Great experience. Looking to maybe make something today. Yeah, mate. Yeah, go for it. I'm going to start off my St. Ivel cheese today because it's going to take like 3 days to make because it's a lactic set cheese. But yeah, it should be good. So we'll check that out. Shauna says this is my second one and it's amazing. I think we're talking about the Chef Alarm. So I'll just write down that brand. Hopefully I can get it on Amazon. It'll be nice and quick delivery. Merv says, yes, I'm hooked on making cheese and cannot wait to try the cheddar in 3 months. So well done. Matt says, great to finally meet and spend a bit of time with Tracy Johnson last week in the UK. Yeah, I've been following her on Facebook. We're friends on Facebook, so I've been watching her antics, travelling around the world. But yeah, she looks like she's having a lot of fun, visiting a lot of cheesemakers. I'm quite envious of her tour. So yeah, and it's glad you got to meet her, Matt. So well done, mate. Alrighty. Earthworm says, what's the deal with the cucumber cheese trend? Beats me. I haven't seen the trend yet. So, yeah, if you can enlighten me any further, Earthworm, that'd be lovely. Paul says, just checked on a new thermometer. I can actually, I can see that I actually already bought one. I'll use it next time. Oh, there you go. Patricia says, Gav, if you do get a Chef Alarm thermometer with a removable probe like Shauna, I recommend purchasing a second probe as a backup. They're not expensive and it's worth having a spare for just in case. Thanks, Patricia. I'll take that on notice as a recommendation. Hopefully I should be able to buy a spare probe, so that'll be good. Fiona has a question. Says, I bought a couple of truffle products, hoping to use them in cheese. They are a pate and a truffle dust. Any suggestions? The pate has lactic acid in it, though. Okay, now I have used truffles before myself in cheese. So let me just see if I can find that video so we can enlighten everybody. Where are we? Second monitor. So to search for any video on the channel, you just you go to the channel page and there's a little search thing. Truffles. Okay. So there's a couple I did a taste test on one from Adelaide from Art of Delights. It was a truffle brie. Wasn't a sponsored video, but I made a truffle video. Sorry, a truffle cheese. Let's click on that. Oh, g'day, curd nerds. All right. Do we get to see these truffles? They were actually sent to me by a guy who ran a truffle farm down in Tasmania. He sent me these 3 massive truffles. These are not cheap. But he sent them to me. I gave his little truffle farm a plug. But yeah, and I shaved bits off. How did I do it? Let's have a look. What cheese did I make? These cheeses, they're like a little lactic set cheese with a little bit of Penicillium candidum and Geo. But yeah, so how do we do the truffles? So I clean the truffles. Just make sure I use a toothbrush, no little... so there's no dirt or anything like that. I think they were already cleaned before they got to me. So when did I add them to the cheese itself? Let's have a look. Come on, YouTube, don't let me down. So I'm just ladling them in. Oh, here we are. So because they're a fungi, you can only use them on quick aged cheeses. So I think I aged these for 2 weeks. But yeah, you can see there that I'm using my grater and just grating bits of truffle into the cheese itself. I wouldn't do this for any long aged cheeses. Truffles are normally mixed into cheeses after the fact, so after your cheese has been matured. And as you can see, I'm just topping up after the truffle shavings and all that sort of stuff. Do we have a taste test at the end? Yeah, I think we do. So there you go. I can't scroll in. Did I do a close-up? There we go. So there's the final cheese with a little bit of geo forming on the outside. Really short maturation, but it had a really full truffle flavour. So that's how I've added them in. Don't add them to long matured cheeses. You'll get all sorts of fungi growing inside your cheese, and that's not a good thing. But to get an authentic truffle taste, this is certainly something you could do. As for the truffle pate, I don't know if I would do that. The truffle dust, you could do this, no problems at all. But I certainly wouldn't use the truffle pate, especially if it's already got lactic acid in it. You will find that the cheese will over-acidify and it won't be as expected. So hopefully that helps, Fiona. But great question. Thank you so much for popping that one in there. Next question is from... there we go, from Merv, and he said, is it okay to freeze milk for use to make cheese? Yes, it is. As long as you use it within about a month. So I've used frozen milk a couple of times. So the first time was when a friend from Tasmania bought some raw cow's milk on a trip. She was coming over. It was raw Jersey milk, and I made what did I make? I made a Romano, so a Vashiran Romano, so cow's milk Romano, out of the raw milk, because that style of cheese is okay to make with raw milk without any issues, because it's actually laid down in the Australian food standards around using raw milk for cheeses. That Romano, Pecorino Romano, Parmesan, the cheese that can't be mentioned, all those cheeses are conducive to long aging, low temperatures, and they have the bad bacteria will not be able to survive in the conditions that they're matured in. Anyway, so yeah, I used raw Jersey milk, and that was frozen and brought over for me, and I used that within a couple of days of her giving it to me. I've also been gifted some sheep's milk, and that was delivered to me frozen as well, and that worked out perfectly, and I made a Pecorino Romano with that. And a Merv, that was no problems at all, but I wouldn't leave it too long because the proteins start to break down from the freezing. So yeah, do that. Patricia says that the chef alarm is made by ThermoWorks. ThermoWorks has their own website. Okay, I will check that out. Thank you, Patricia. I appreciate it. Obviously you can't find it on... oh, there we go. Jeffrey says you can't find that on Amazon. Okay, so I'll go to the ThermoWorks website and have a look. Thanks, Patricia, for that. Fiona says, thanks. Also my thoughts on the truffle pate. We'll just have to enjoy it with some cheese. Indeed, just spread it lightly on your cheese. Yum, yum, yum. You know, one of the cheeses that I made using the Formaggio the other day really did exceed my expectations. I made a queso fresco, a little bit differently than what I normally make it. So the ingredients and the recipe that comes with the Formaggio machine, you know, could easily be replicated without using the machine. But yeah, it just created a very unique queso fresco, And the flavour after 2 or 3 days has been exceptional. It really does have a really strong depth of flavour. So maybe it was, I don't know, over cultured or something. Because the little sachets they give you with the machine, well, you got to buy them separately, but the sachets that come with the machine that you use have a lot of culture in them. They've got about a teaspoon of culture. No, I wouldn't say a teaspoon, probably half a teaspoon of culture for 3 litres of milk. So I think it's a fairly over culture, but the cheese, when it's salted correctly, very, very flavoursome. So Kim and I have really been enjoying the queso fresco that I made. In that we've already eaten the ricotta that I made, and there are 2 other cheeses that are maturing. So I've got a pepper jack that I made in it, and I've got a cheddar, which I don't have much hopes for. It's really flat. I should have used a lot smaller mould. You know, I'm only using like 3 litres of milk. I got a yield of 500 grams of curds out of it, so I should have used a much smaller mould. I used a larger one that was probably about, 15 centimetres across. But yeah, it's really flat. The cheddar is flat, so I might just have to eat it as cheese curds, because I think by the time it's matured over 3 months, it's going to be very, very dry. So yeah, that's a bit of an issue. But yeah, so far my experiences with the Formaggio machine's been okay. I haven't had anything that can't be any issues that I found that can't be rectified. And like I said, I got a meeting with the guy tomorrow to chat about getting some recipes updated and some instructions clearer and all that sort of stuff. Other than that, I think they've got a half decent product. So that's what I've been doing this week. Anyway, we've got 8 minutes to go. If anybody else has got any questions, throw them in the chat. I'll answer them as best I can. If we don't get any, if we don't have any questions, I can't wax lyrical about cheese enough, of course. And you'll notice that I've just clocked over to 344,000 subscribers. So there's got to be somebody with a cheese question. Yeah, so pop them in. Oh, Patricia has one. That's fantastic. That's a good question. Patricia says, did the Formaggio come with rennet as well, liquid or animal? Liquid or tablet, animal or microbial, IMCU number, just curious. Yeah, I was curious too. So they actually have 2 types of powdered rennet. So it's rennet that's in a powder in a little sachet, single-use sachet, and 5 come in a packet. So they got a version for soft cheese, which I think might have something else in it. It says what's in it. It doesn't say what the enzyme is, what the IMCU is, or anything like that. It just says on the back, 1 sachet will coagulate 3 litres of milk. So I would say the IMCU number is probably about 60 tops. Absolutely, very similar to the Mad Millie rennet tablets that I stock, that I just sold out of the other day. Somebody bought 10 packets from Fiji, so somebody in Fiji's making a lot of cheese. But yeah, so something like that. So it's in powdered form and it dissolves in water really well. I think it's microbial rennet, it's not animal rennet, because I have never seen animal rennet in a powdered. Well, yeah, Walco-Gren make powdered rennet, animal powder rennet, but no, this is microbial rennet. It does say on the back it's microbial, but it doesn't say what the IMCU is. But I'm guessing it's about 60. So yeah, so that's what it comes with. You can certainly use all your own ingredients. Honestly, I've only been doing it because I'm testing. For the review, I'm doing a test of the recipes that as they come, and I'm making changes because I know some things are wrong. But the good thing is the machine gets over-the-air updates. So I've told them what's wrong with the recipes and they're going to change them. So they'll just change them, and then next time you open the app and push the recipe to your phone, it'll update the recipe. So that's the good thing about it, is that it's not set in stone. It's not like a book where you would have to get another revision. The app just updates the machine and bingo boingo, it's all good. So I'm actually quite pleased with what they can do with it. So there is a statement from Matt. Matt says, not a question, but my kids 6 and 8 love seeing my name on YouTube. Thanks for that. There you go, Matt. You got your name in lights again. Congratulations. Oh, so good. Jeffrey says, do I air the dark and mustard cheese before vacuum packing? Yeah, just until it's touch dry, Jeffrey, is the best way to do it. It'll usually take about 12 hours, especially when it comes out of the brine. It usually dries, the surface dries pretty quickly. Because it's a fairly high acid cheese, you don't need to air dry it at 13 degrees Celsius, room temperature 21. If it's hotter than 21, then pop it into the cheese cave to air dry, just on a board, wooden board or plastic mat. And then once it's touch dry, it should feel like a clammy handshake. Then vacuum pack it, and you shouldn't get any whey seepage at all. There you go. Casera, first time no see. Hey Gavin, on my first 2 cheeses, the milk has taken a long time to curdle, an hour or more. Is my rennet bad, or could it be something else that makes it slow to set? Love your videos. Great question. Usually it's not enough rennet, or the milk has been high temperature pasteurized, and that could be an issue. So try adding a little bit more rennet. Depends on how old your rennet is. If it's before the best before date, you shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. It should set. If it's, have a look at the instructions on the rennet bottle. I know you probably already have, but not telling grandma how to suck eggs, but check the strength on the bottle. Make sure, usually some of them say X amount of milliliters per litre of milk. So go and check that out. Make sure you're doing that right. And if not, then add a little bit more. And if worse comes to worse, start using the flocculation method. I'll just bring out the video for the flocculation method. Can we do that? Gav, get your act together. Right, hang on. Let me just grab it on the second monitor. We've got truffles there. What do we want to do? We want to do flocculation. Flocculation. There we go. Flocculation method for a better curd set. Let's grab the link. Breaking the fourth wall, of course. I'll pop it into the chat. Go and check out that video. You'll get a little bit more information around curd set, and that should help you out for sure. Kasira, and thank you so much for the question. Patricia says, yes, Walco Ren makes dry animal rennet. I bought it as tablets because I couldn't get the veggie style. Fun fact, I have never used liquid rennet. There you go. Yeah, so it's the first time for me using powdered rennet, and the experience has been okay. As long as I followed the instructions on what I had to do. It said diluted in 1/8 of a cup, or I think it's about 30 milliliters of water. The sachet, dilute it before I put it into the machine, and the machine stirred the milk, and it was all good. So it was really good. Alrighty, yeah, it is time to go. Thanks for the reminder, Shauna. Have a fantastic weekend yourself, and have a great week making cheese, and I hope your raclette turns out all right. For everybody else, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Don't forget that if you want to learn how to make cheese, I have some courses over at the Curd Nerd Academy at courses.littlegreenworkshops.com.au. I've got a beginners and a blue cheese course. Go and check them out if you want a structured method of making cheese and learning all the ins and outs of the do's and don'ts and all that sort of stuff. If you want to pick up cheese making supplies, check out littlegreenworkshops.com.au. That's the shop that Kim and I run, and you can get yourself kits, supplies, cultures, rennet, all that sort of stuff, and equipment to make cheese in your own home. We ship all over the world, by the way. And of course, I'd be amiss not to plug my merch. There's my favourite cup today. Talk Curdy to me. Nice goat. Yeah, you can pick those over. Where is it? Hang on, it's gone. Back again. Stop talking, Gav. Merch.cheeseman.tv. Go and check out some merch. A few of you have recently purchased some nice T-shirts, so congratulations on getting those. Alrighty, thanks everybody. Stay fresh cheese bags, as Patricia has rightly said in the chat. I will see you next week. Patricia won't be there. She'll miss next week. That's no good. But thanks everybody. Thanks for watching, Curd Nerds, and I'll see you next time. See you later. Bye-bye.